sending out.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Jody, welcome to the board.
Good to see everyone.
It's nice to see you too.
This is my annual budget presentation, a little bit late. All of the boards graciously gave me December off, and so now I'm going to rush in 2 weeks and try to get everyone in, and you are first. You're actually before our board actually adopts the budget, so you're seeing this in advance.
I feel special. Thank you.
Yeah. You're all right. Great. So we always like to start this budget presentation with a reminder of the CVCC SD vision and mission, and just really focus on the fact that we exist to support and prepare students to thrive as active members of our diverse society and the workforce. And we achieve this through communities that prioritize rigorous, safe, and experiential learning. And that experiential learning is really important. It plays a really crucial role in preparing our students. It allows them to apply their knowledge in real world settings, bridging the gap between theory and practice. Our board goals have remained consistent for the past 2 years that I've spoken to you about them, so these are no surprise. Our goal is to serve all eligible students in the region, addressing limitations posed by current facilities. There is a working group, which is actually where I just came from, exploring options following the failure of our bond vote. So we're basically examining all of the options that the board facilities committee had looked at in the past, and just going back through them and looking at some new ideas that some folks have brought forward to try to really outline what are the pros and cons to each one and what really is going to get us to where we need to be. And so that work group is going to meet through March, and we'll have a proposal to the facilities committee of the CVCC board in April to move forward. So if you read the recent Times Argus article, you might have seen that there could be a bond vote again in the future. It could be something else. It could be much different from the one that folks saw previously. It is not in our budget. So we're not asking for an increase of $149 million this year. We continue to work on improving communication. In fact, that's coming out of our comprehensive local needs assessment as a very clear need for us, is to improve communication with all of our communities so that they have a better understanding of what we do at the Career Center, and why we might need to change spaces or to have additional spacing. And then we're always looking to improve our programming offerings. You're looking at the conditions impacting our budget. So we have the need to optimize our classroom space and meet increasing student demand. We all have state regulations that we need to take care of, and our state funding is projected at the base rate that we have to do our tuition off of is projected at $13,227 per student, which is an increase of 4.4% over last year. And we also know that we have the increase in healthcare, we have the increase in dental benefits, we have increases in salaries, and all of those impact our budget. Go ahead. I have the cliff notes here. When we look at our budget, our FY27, what we're expecting, we see that we allocate 70% to salaries and benefits, which is consistent with averages across the state. You can see in this that our anticipated total budget is $5,472,467. It's a 7% increase from last year. And when you look ahead, you can go to the next. So we have by object and then by function, just so you can see where are we spending our money. And then if you move into the next piece, we're budgeting for discrepancies, for one thing, between the current FTE counts and what's billable. We can bill on a 6-semester average. So while Cabot School, for example, has no students with us currently, they're still paying tuition for that 6-semester, 3 years worth of students that they've had with us. So it could be that you have more students with us and you're paying a little less. You can have less students with us and you're paying. So those things happen based on that 6-semester average of tuition. We could have 200 students and still be lagging in what we can bill on tuition because it hasn't caught up with where we're at. So when we're looking at that, we look at how those discrepancies affect our resources and planning. We try to create a flexible budget so that there might be something that comes up that we need to transition some funds to. And we prioritize those essential services related to our students. If you look at the next one, it's our enrollment slide, I think. So you can look at across the years. You can see the 3 years on there, including this year. And you can see that we had 187 FTEs in FY24. We actually had 189 total students. 2 of those were adult students, so they don't count in those FTEs. And then we could bill on 174.17 at that time. And so looking ahead at next year, we are creating the early childhood ed program. We're increasing our electrical program to a second for that. So we're increasing our capacity to 277. Regardless of how many we take in, our billable FTEs will be about 198. No, 190. Oops, I'm not, sorry. Yes, 198.2. On the director's priorities, there were things that I was thinking about as far as increasing access. So we did hire a second electrical teacher this year. So we were able to expand the capacity of the program a little bit. Next year, we can have 2 full programs separated. And we are also opening that early childhood education program. We had tried to do that last year, and the agency says yes or no as far as new programs. And they said no because at the time, Randolph still had an education program. And so they wanted to make sure that students were going there. But Randolph did close their program last year. And so that opened the door for us to open this up, and also a potential partnership with East Montpelier's pre-K to start. I anticipate that we're going to be reaching out to all of our sending districts to see if there are ways that we could use pre-Ks as lab spaces for our students and kind of share in that. And finally, we do need to update our dust collection system in the building trades lab. And so that is a safety piece that we've added into the budget. So those were the 3 priority areas for us, looking at what will increase the cost beyond those things that are already fixed for us. You can see our announced tuition for the current school year and where we are compared to other CTEs. We anticipate being right in the same range compared to our colleagues across the state. The revenue sources, those are the same each year. So we do get some direct funding from the state. So that's the on behalf payment for students. Then there's some salary assistance, and we do have some other revenues like the Perkins federal grant. And then whatever remains is what we actually bill and what you have to budget for in your budgets. And so that's part of the reason I have to come and talk with each school board, is so that you know to be prepared for that. So on the next slide, our overall tuition is anticipated to be $21,874, which is up 4.9%. The amount per student that would remain for each individual sending school would be $10,366 after the on behalf and the other revenues are deducted. Again, that's based on that 6-semester average. You've all heard this before at least once, I think.
Any questions? Jackie?
So this, again, might be ignorance. Are any of your federal grants currently at risk for any of the stuff that you do? I know some of ours are.
Well, the only federal
you
grant
believe,
that we
yeah.
get is Perkins, and right now it's set to be level funded for next year. So we're not going to get an increase, but we're not going to lose it from what we've heard. So we also got moved to the Department of Labor, so who knows?
Mm-hmm.
It's a good place for you. Good jurisdiction
We
over
can
there.
fit in with both, right? Yeah.
Any other questions? Jody, we appreciate you coming.
Thank you for
Thank
having me.
you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jody.